dudes talking about anime. Guess it's important to hear what they say. Argue over webs throughout night and day. Now that you listen to the Rant Cafe.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Animac here from the YouTube and Twitch channel Anime Out Pro, and welcome to another episode of the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast. This time we're gonna have some fun. I mean, we usually do, but this time we're gonna try to have some fun.
Fuck the podcast. We're just here to have fun. We're gonna take off your clothes.
No.
Why is this always Rush's go-to?
It wouldn't be our first time to get naked, but actually, what we're gonna be doing is roasting Watch Mojo's top 20 best anime of the decade.
Okay.
Right? The 2010s.
Wow, that does sound like fun.
Like, I say
Wow,
roasting
Animac.
because we're all YouTubers, right? So
You
we
said that in the most fun way possible, for sure.
Well,
I say roasting because we're YouTubers, so we like to clickbait. But we might even end up agreeing with some of the stuff. Who knows? We'll see. It's gonna be fun. And joining me today, along with my co-host and best friend in the whole world, Lord Brigo from Old Anime. We also have Evanito and Daniel Rustage.
that's my
We
full ass.
hate each
fucking
other,
name.
by the way, me and Rustage, if you guys don't know.
I'm Evan's boss. if you
Yeah,
didn't
he is,
know.
unfortunately.
So he
Full
can't say
name.
shit to me, but I can say shit to him.
Fuck you, Daniel.
Wait.
You said you weren't gonna
Ev-
swear anymore.
Evan.
I've already broken your rule.
Ooh.
Well, you made me angry.
Yeah, exactly.
Evan, have you ever edited for Animac?
Yeah, I think he did
once.
like a few videos.
Wow,
edited
so
for
we
all
have
of
we,
you,
we
actually.
have all been your boss at one point in time.
Oh, this is great. This is like a boss. It's like a boss gangbang, but like not in a sexual way. like a community, like a safe for work community.
Okay,
gangbang.
I'm just confirming Rustage is low-key a freak.
No, I know.
Low-key. Okay.
The more I
He's
get to
not
know
even-
him.
I meant, okay,
I'm
this is
gonna-
a boss
I'm gonna-
gathering.
Uh,
Rustage. I'm gonna assume that your middle name is Quentin.
No, my middle name is Theodore, but it's without the e at the end, so it's the Oda.
Wow.
So it's in secondary school and primary school. People used to call me Daniel the Oda Rustage, just because it was easy.
You were meant to be a rapper.
Yeah, is that a rapper name?
I don't know. It just sounds
Oda?
like that could be like your rapper name, the Oda.
Because my rhymes stink.
Well, we all. Oh, well, I mean, we all know Oda's fire, so.
Yes.
Who wants to start with this brilliant list? And in case you don't know, in the anime community, Watch Mojo has a bit of a reputation because they put out like 800 videos a day, including anime-based videos, and then often people get ticked off by their picks because they like to choose like mainstream stuff that is very vanilla, and then us weebs get all like our
Well,
panties in a bunch about it.
They're a corporation, and you can just tell there's very little heart put into their work because they have one person
Yeah.
scripting and a different person voicing the script that probably hasn't seen the anime that was included in the video, and a different person editing. And there's nothing wrong with that, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to appeal to the largest amount of people,
Which is unfortunate.
So at number 20, so yeah, they're counting down the top 20 anime of the decade, and at number 20 we have Kill la Kill, which
You
I'm
have to say it
sure.
like they do.
Pardon?
You have to say it like they do.
I don't know how they say
We
it.
have no. Okay. Well, that's
I
fine.
watched it at 2x speed, and I was just like, nope, no,
Can I
yes,
get
but
through
wrong
at 2x
spot.
speed?
No, maybe.
You watched it?
Wait,
Well, let me say that I think that Kill la Kill definitely deserves to be on the list. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was crazy, over the top, and yet hilarious. The one anime that Trigger put out that I think really kind of lives up to the hype of the old Gainax productions like Gurren Lagann. I wouldn't say it's as good as Gurren Lagann. Nothing is, but Kill la Kill is still quite good. I would probably place it higher. But
nothing as good as
I think that's
Gurren
I think that's the theme of the list, where like I agree with like probably everything that's on here, but I would rearrange the order of things.
yeah, I
Um,
would place it closer to 10.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah.
I dropped Kill la Kill after 3 episodes. I'm trying to not be as negative as I usually am, but I dropped after 3 episodes.
Such
A lot of that is
negative
because
Nancy.
I didn't find it funny at all, and I feel like that was a large amount of the appeal. I didn't like. I know they were kind of. It's like a. How do I word this? I didn't like the power system, even though I know that the power system was a joke, and like, I don't know. There's nothing
Bro.
about it appealed to me.
I can understand it. I've not really seen Kill la Kill, but there's a running theme in a lot of shows where they have an in-universe explanation for why something happens, and so people use that as an excuse for why that thing happens, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of anime like that. For example, in Kill la Kill, they all dress very skimpily because there's an in-universe explanation with the whole clothes being weapons sort of.
Oh, it's
situation,
brilliant. It's brilliant.
right? But and so whenever you're like, I that makes me uncomfortable to watch. They're like, you shouldn't. It's got an in-universe explanation for it, but I
Yeah.
don't feel like that
It doesn't
always
help.
excuses it, right?
Not that I ever feel uncomfortable to watch, but
Okay, no,
some
but
people might.
I'm not gonna criticize people who enjoy the show. I'm just saying it's not for everyone, obviously.
It definitely
But
wasn't for me. And I'm a fan of fan service, but just still wasn't for me.
Okay, Briggs, did you get to the nudist beach?
I don't,
He did it.
I
He
don't
watched
know
like the
what
first
You're
three
not-
episodes.
you're not really
Yes,
selling-
and that's the problem, right? Because like I feel like Kill la Kill for me at first was also like a mess show, but like once you do get to Nudist Beach is when like the show actually like ramps up. I feel.
Yeah, bro, I feel like nudist beach
Okay.
is like Briggs is like I don't know, like soulmates, you know, like he would totally
It's like
get
his
them.
mantra. He
But-
would. He totally would.
You're making
But
me
the
seem
problem
really
is
weird
the-
right now. What is this nudist beach?
Nudist beach like a code word? Like
Oh yeah, these
No, no,
guys
no.
haven't seen. Oh my gosh,
Okay, what episode would you say that's around?
you have to
I
watch
don't
it,
know.
Briggs, because it's brilliant. And I think this was you watched Kill la Kill before you became a member of the Rant Cafe and became a man of culture. So I definitely suggest you rewatch it.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think I gave it enough of a chance. But at the same time, like even though it might be good, I'm usually able to tell off a couple episodes if a show's for me or not. So
Yeah.
I can't really say that this show wasn't good. It just definitely wasn't for me.
that's fair. That's fair.
We-
I think I see people in the chat saying that it's a good show, but it wouldn't be top 20,
Yeah.
which is I've not seen it.
No,
But
people
from
people
people
like to just talk shit to me because they know I like Kill la Kill and Nux doesn't, so they like to troll me. But they all
Oh, I
know
see,
in
I
their
see.
hearts. They all know in their hearts that Kill la Kill is
Well,
better
after
than...
being on Rant Cafe
their
for so
favorite
many
show.
years, I know that I tend to always disagree with Animax. So most likely, I stand by my like position that I just don't like the anime. It's probably not good. Number 19, Psychopaths, which I think it absolutely deserves to be on the list.
It definitely deserves to be on this list for sure.
Absolutely, especially season 1. Now, season 2 wasn't bad. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, it was terrible." I liked it. You know why? Season 1 upped the ante in terms of the world building and the concepts it explores, sci-fi wise. But Kogami and Makishima Shogo are just that conflict in the first season is so brilliant. I would definitely put that in the top 10, not 20, but 10.
I think
Oh,
if it was
I'd go
only
as
the
far
first
as say
season,
top 5 to be honest.
if it was only the first season, I'd say top 10.
Yeah,
yeah,
But at the same time, I didn't overly love the characters, and I am a very character-driven person. But the concept itself was amazing. It was just so interesting every episode. And like you said, the ending of the first season, so well done.
Yeah, and I mean, just Makishima Shogo is such a great villain. Like, you hate what he does, but you respect his philosophy. And Kogami is like this such a classic, anti-hero. I love it.
So how do you feel about at number 18? We have Demon Slayer, which
I-
is above Psychopaths.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's the first disagreement in like terms of how they listed it. I definitely don't think it deserves to be above Psychopaths for sure.
yeah. I think it deserves to be in the list. It at least for like. Here's the thing about a list like this is that when they say best anime, I don't even think they mean the highest quality anime. If that makes sense, like you could take into other accounts like the impact that certain anime has. If that makes sense.
Oh,
to
they're definitely not
encapsulate, like,
looking at
best anime.
like best by best. Oh, actually, their number one is like almost. It surprised me. I won't get into it. Like I felt like they actually didn't go off popularity completely for this thing. Demon Slayer and a lot of anime make it feel like they're going off popularity, but the end of this list, like I feel like they actually went by quality.
Yeah, but Demon Slayer is good, like animation wise. I think, I read the manga of Demon Slayer before I watched it because I wanted to get through it quickly because I was doing a song with None Like Joshua on it, and I didn't enjoy it all that much when I was reading the manga,
What?
and I thought it was fine, but I didn't. It wasn't like a crazy good. And
So
then
the
when I started
animation brought it to
yeah,
life
when
for
I
you.
started watching the anime, I was like, man, this is way better. Like even things like not just the animation, but just like the comedic timing with like Inosuke and stuff, just translated way better in the anime than in the manga.
Fair
And
enough.
I just was really disappointed in the manga.
I personally really enjoyed the manga, and I don't know why you didn't.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
weird.
normally a manga over anime guy, but the Demon Slayer manga just didn't do it for me at all.
Like, don't get me wrong, the anime is beautiful, and I think the anime provides a unique take with the music and the visuals and stuff. But I still enjoyed the manga. I think the anime, so far, we've only got one season. I do think it deserves to be top 20, just because maybe it's because we're fresh off of it this season. But I personally really enjoyed it, and I love the animation, very good quality stuff. Now, with that said, I wouldn't put it in the high 20s. You know, I wouldn't put it in the high like top 10 or top 15 even, because we still have much more to go to see how good this anime is. But top 20, probably this is where I would put it, around this area, you know.
Who would have thought? I actually agree with Animac. I think, considering the fact that it might win Anime of the Year, or it's definitely at least top 3 anime of the year, you would think it should be around the top 20 of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer. Okay, for me personally, I didn't really finish Demon Slayer yet. I got to like episode 20 and I stopped.
Oh no!
How?
Not first he admits the fish thing. Now he admits this in public.
What's wrong? Okay, again, it's
Oh,
it's a
no.
great-
You
a
stopped right
great
after the
show.
Rui fight.
It's a great show, but like it's for me, I still feel like it's not like anime of the decade worthy, right? Like I would just say like, oh, it's a great show. It's just not something I would have on a list like this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway,
Fair enough. I mean,
sorry
I
for
do
your.
think that Demon Slayer still needs to prove itself because it's so new.
It doesn't
Yeah.
even need to prove itself like that. Like, it was a solid 24 episodes. Like, it was just one great fight scene after another, and I love the characters and their interactions. I don't think the characters are amazing, but together they're great. And I do think I think it's worth top 20.
It's a great dynamic, man. I love Zenitsu, Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Nezuko together. They're great.
Oh, and the reason why I said, like, I think 24 episodes is enough. I don't think a show should need 50 episodes, 100 episodes to be classified as, like earning its spot. Like, a 12-episode show can earn its spot, you know?
So why I say that is because a lot of shows can end completely in 12 episodes, and then you know what you're looking for. Whereas when the story is much longer still, it's hard to, okay, well, we got like 2 arcs. Now we have to make the judgment if it's an anime of the decade.
Fair enough. Like,
Yeah,
his story and his journey is still, like, he hasn't saved his sister and all that, you know?
Yeah. So actually, for me, I just looked it up. Like a show that I would say probably deserves to be on this list is Tiger and Bunny. So that's what I would like personally replace Demon Slayer with.
Really? I'm not gonna check it out because I just don't agree with your taste like almost ever. But no, I've actually heard that it's really good, and people
I've said that before to Evan. Evan has like recommended something, and I'd be like, great, I won't check that out.
like the fact that like
somebody-
if someone says this anime should be anime of the decade, like it's like, okay, I have to watch that, and that actually applies to some of the anime on this list that I haven't seen. It's like, how have I not seen something that's top 20 anime of the decade ranked by this website? But at the same time, if it comes from Evan.
Wow.
No, I've
Man,
heard.
someone should make a
I've heard that
Guys.
Tiger and Bunny is good though.
guys. Someone should make a GIF out of Evan's like heartbroken reaction there.
I'm sorry, brother. I've heard it's good too. Like people were recommending
Yeah,
it to
I
me
have heard that it's
when I
good.
made a video anime similar to MHA. Is it similar, or are people full of shit?
It's superheroes, right? So yeah,
Yeah,
at
it's
least in some
superheroes
regards.
with actual real life sponsors, and I wouldn't say it's like too similar to MHA because obviously MHA is just kids in high school learning to be superheroes, whereas this show is like, hey, being a superhero is a job, and they get sponsored by actual companies and get paid.
Like Honda and shit.
Yeah,
Honda
like one of the like major sponsors in the show is actually Pepsi. But yeah.
Oh,
Oh man.
Damn. Well, anyway, the next on the list is Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. The
I
first
know
one on the list that I
nothing.
haven't seen.
I know nothing of
I
the
also-
Gundam world.
Think about Gundam.
Yeah, the only thing I know about Gundam is in the anime Keroro Gutso. Keroro the Frog built Gundam, and that's it.
so
And
I've seen several Gundam series, but I have not seen this one, mostly because people told me don't bother with it. So I don't know.
Then.
Like, I can't believe this made the list. I hadn't even heard about it.
Maybe they
I
just
heard
had to
about
pick a Gundam.
And they
I don't
just chose unicorns.
The thing is, it might actually be amazing, and people are going to be mad at us collectively for not seeing it.
Hmm.
And they're going to be like, that should have been top 4 best fucking Gundam show
No, but,
ever
like,
made.
dude, you know how active I am in the anime community? The fact I've never heard someone fucking talk about like unicorns, mobile
Yeah.
suit Gundam unicorn specifically.
But I don't hear anyone ever talk about Gundam anyway. But I think that just might be like, it feels like a different subsection of the anime community.
Yeah.
That,
Nah, but I've
No,
heard
I mean
about
there's a lot of Gundam series,
Yeah,
and you can.
there's a lot of Gundam series that like people praise the hell out of. I've never heard unicorn mentioned.
Yeah, but like it's a lot of them are the stories are completely disconnected. So you can watch like Gundam Seed, or you can watch Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, stuff like that, without ever having knowledge of the other ones.
Drop Unicorn and replace it with Iron Blooded Orphans, someone says.
Yeah, so that's the one I hear a lot of people talk about, actually. Iron Blood.
Yeah, I like that until the last 2 episodes, and then I hated it.
Yeah, I feel like the 3 that I hear the most are Iron Blooded Orphans, Seed, and Wing.
Yeah,
Gundam Wing.
those are definitely the 3 I hear the most as well.
Yeah, Gundam Wing is from like the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they had
Yeah.
since Gundam had such a huge fan base, even though it's kind of niche, I guess. What's it called? Maybe they had to include something, and I don't know. I guess they went with this. Any other thoughts before we move on to the next one?
Any other mech show would have been better.
Wow. All right, thank God. I was about to say, like, didn't Code Geass come out? But no, it came out in like
No,
2007 or
last
9.
decade.
Yeah.
The decade before this one was amazing too, man. Wow.
Oh, it was.
Oh my
yeah.
God. We should make a video about like the last decade. That'd be cool. There's
Well,
so
it
many
depends how many views this video gets, bro.
Smash that like button.
Has Watch Mojo made a 2000 to 2010 fucking anime of the decade?
Probably.
Well,
Smash
anyway.
that subscribe button, guys.
Hell yeah. Devil Man Crybaby.
Ah,
I remember that blew up in the community when it first dropped on Netflix.
yeah. So
Go ahead.
go ahead.
By the same creator of Ping Pong the Animation, which I thought could have landed on this list if it came out in this decade. I don't know. Did it? I think it did. No?
It's ping pong. I don't know. I'm gonna look that
Ping
up.
Pong, the animation. We're doing
See,
some research.
I did
are.
like Devilman Crybaby quite a bit. It's different. It's guttural.
It did.
It's a
actually
retelling
did.
of the Book of Revelations from the Bible in modern day Japan. I thought it was great, and I thought that it was one of the best anime of the last year. I think is when it came out. However, with that said, I wouldn't put it ahead of like Psycho-Pass. I think Psycho-Pass is the better anime.
Ping Pong, the animation came out in 2014.
Yep. So it wasn't this
So-
decade.
Yeah, put it on the list.
Oh, they do have a
And-
list of the best.
Yes,
anime
they
from
have their
this
top
decade.
10 2000 to 2010. So, and they have Naruto up there. That's a video for another time.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, Erased is next, which I really disagree with. I don't think it should have been on the top 20. I loved it at the start, and then I kind of was very underwhelmed by the ending.
Yeah, Erased is one of those where definitely the premise grabs you,
Mhm.
but then it doesn't just stay that interesting. Kind of like a modern classic that we all know called Recreators.
I mean, it was a little bit too predictable, right? Like, it was really cool
Yeah,
like,
no.
with the start and the concept, and then it just like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't be able to know exactly what's going to happen next. It's a murder mystery, no?
Exactly.
mystery,
As
time
went
travel.
by- yeah, as time went by, Erase just became a lot more predictable, and that's why, for me, I definitely wouldn't have it on this list.
Yeah, again, definitely not top 20 of the decade.
Yeah.
And I don't
Maybe
think the
top
next
20
one.
of that
I,
year or
I don't think the next one should be top 20 either. We got Made in Abyss.
Huh, people like that.
I think
Like
it's overhyped.
murdering children, Daniel.
I thought the last 3
What?
episodes.
I said people like that. I haven't expressed my opinion.
Oh, okay. What
So-
are your thoughts on murdering children, Daniel?
Oh, I mean, murdering children. I'm all for that anyway. Like, that's like
Oh my
bring me a
God.
child. I've got weapons. Right?
no.
We can go.
Okay, disclaimer: the Rank of a podcast does not endorse the words and actions of Daniel Rustage.
All right, back to Made in Abyss, guys.
He is a
Enough of
loose-
this children
He's a loose
talk.
cannon. He's out of control. We can't stop him. And I'm
Yeah,
there
so
with like
Made in
7
Abyss, there is some very positive things. Like one thing is like Nux will overhype it to death, and that part is annoying. But
Do you
otherwise,
want me to pretend to be Nux overhyping it?
oh please
Yes.
go ahead.
Go for it.
Right, guys! Made in Abyss is one of the best anime of this decade! It would definitely be in the top 10! Okay, there we
That's
go.
amazing.
That's my...
That's amazing. So
Well, I don't think we need Nux anymore, guys.
I wonder
guys,
if the
There it
reason
is.
I don't like it as much is because Nux overhyped it. But at the same time, the last 3 episodes were genuinely some of the best anime I've seen. So it's like maybe that's where the hype's coming from. But it was the entire time I'm like, I don't understand why he hyped it up so much, or like why people love it so much the entire time I was watching it. And then the last 3 episodes came, and I'm like, wow, this is actually amazing.
So I think
But is it top
he's read
20
the
worthy?
manga, right?
He's read the manga, yes.
Yeah, so that's why he's hyping it up, because like that's what I hear from a lot of people, like where the anime ended. It's because the manga just gets like really intense after that.
Well, I can
But it's like-
imagine considering how it ended.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, this is an anime list. Why
That's
is this
true.
in the top 20 of the decade?
And
That's
I
true.
think there is a problem with Nux overhyping stuff. Like he's lucky that I really did love Joseph from JoJo's as much as he said I would, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have even liked JoJo's as much as I do. But in terms of Made in Abyss, I think it's a really solid anime. I think it could deserve to be here. I think so. I mean, like let's say the late 20s, like the closer to 20, just because it has great animation, it's a unique art style, it has beautiful soundtrack, absolutely magnificent, and the story does pick up.
Watch Mojo describes it as, this one will grab you by the throat and refuse to let go, which is not something I would ever... If someone advertised anything to me as that, I don't know if I would.
Yeah, it's like this is like this anime is like an infectious disease.
It's going to choke you out and make sure you never breathe again.
So someone commented, Made in Abyss deserves it, and they said, does manga count? We're going just off the anime. In which case, that's why I say I don't think it deserves to be there, 'cause I think the 3 episodes were great, but I need more, and 3 episodes for me isn't enough for it to make top 20. The other episodes weren't bad, per se. And then again, it might just be because I was expecting so much more.
Yeah,
But I
there's
don't-
like there's like a few episodes in the show that I would say, like, if we were doing like top anime episodes of the last
Yeah.
decade or something, like for sure they would be in
most heartwarming moments
yeah.
with, or not even heartwarming, heart-destroying moments. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Hard
Yeah, yeah.
gangbanging moments.
Fuck.
Oh, no.
All right. Number 13, Violet Evergarden.
I actually agree
Oh
with this one.
no, definitely.
I actually agree with this one. I do.
Definitely not. Absolutely not.
I'm going to watch this
Okay.
argument unfold and I'll be quiet.
No, okay. I agree with Violet Evergarden, because like I just think it's a beautiful show that like just you get to like learn about this girl, and I just fell in love with her. Like everything about her. Like she's just so emotionless. And I guess that speaks to, actually I'm not gonna say that live. But whatever. I just love her.
Okay. So it
I
is
could say
beautiful.
more, but it's not appropriate for me to say.
It is beautiful visually, I think, but the story itself just didn't grip me. Like this, it starts off well. The premise is cool, but then she goes from being a like cybernetic soldier to a freaking secretary. Like what? Like I absolutely lost interest in
She's
that
just
show.
trying to find love feels like. Okay. She's
Listen,
not trying- she's
I
trying to
like
understand his feelings, and like she does this by like helping others to understand what feelings are first and foremost, and then eventually she understands. Oh my god, I actually did feel something. So beautiful.
Yeah, but you know that for like 150 years, fiction has been talking about robots or people who are like robotic trying to find out what love is, right? So
Yes,
it's not a
that's
new
true.
concept.
It's not a new concept, but like the way she explores trying to figure it out, I would say is, I guess that's not entirely new as well, but like in terms of anime, I just haven't seen it before.
Rustage is freaking everyone out in the comments.
Yeah.
He's holding some face.
I was... Wait,
Okay,
what?
what was that?
Huh? What are you talking about? What's the next one on the list?
Well, Sage Lucy, thank you so much for that message. Boruto tier for Violet Evergarden, and I agree. Moving on.
Okay, I
No,
see
like-
that one person that said for the first time I agree with Evanito. I'm praising that. Thank you. X A a little okay. Yeah, I
Okay,
guess
but
so.
the fact that he agreed with you and still had to put you down by saying that was the first time
Wow.
ever in my
Wow.
life. Wow, how could I agree with Evan?
Yeah.
Rustage, why didn't you comment on Violet Evergarden?
Who? What? Next one.
He hasn't seen it. Okay, March
I
comes in
haven't
like a
seen it.
lion.
I thought there was some kind of like backstory to this.
No, I have not
He
seen
just,
that.
he just hates Violet Evergarden because he
No, I
hates
just hate Evan's
cyber-
opinions.
Someone just
this
said
is
Fish Boy needs to
uncomfortable.
calm down.
I thought there would be more of a reaction. Instead, it was just nothing.
I didn't notice. I didn't notice. I had your face covered on my screen. My bad.
Just how much they don't like me.
No, I was talking about the thing that you had on screen. I saw
Oh,
people
you
talking
missed
about it.
screen.
Oh, okay.
Missed-
I missed it,
who-
man.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, no. Sorry,
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
realize you were talking about Evan.
Anyway,
There for a
Violet
second.
Evergarden is a modern classic. Moving on.
All right, March comes in like a lion at number 12, and this is an anime I haven't seen, but I've heard good things about.
I also haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it.
Oh gosh, how many things on this list are we gonna say we haven't seen it but heard good
Well, this
things?
is the first one that I haven't seen, right? So I don't know.
Your
I actually
experience
tried to
anime
invite
watching.
someone today that I know loves this anime, but she
I've
Yeah,
seen the
I-
first episode of the show.
I'm in the same boat actually. My brother watched it and loved it, and I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't. And a lot of people have been telling me to watch it. So I do think just based on that, it probably deserves to be on this list.
It's actually like it's a bit more obscure than the other ones, right? So it's quite nice that it's on the list. Unless it's actually something super super popular, and I'm
It's one of those shows where, like, when I told people that I love like Your Lie in April because like it made me feel things, right? Like they're like, "Oh no, you should watch March Comes Like a Lion." I'm like, "Okay, is that gonna make me like cry more?" So apparently,
So-
it's
So
worth being on the list.
if you got depressed from Your Lie in April, you're gonna piss your pants. From Shinkansen.
wait, Animac, when you get depressed, do you piss your pants? Is that what you're saying? Do you,
Like when you get like super emotionally vulnerable, I think so. I think.
is that or
So you
you've
just-
never been sad before and you don't actually understand how the human body works?
he just cries.
Like,
He cries, but cries
when
from his
people
penis.
cry, they just wet themselves.
No, yeah, because when I cry, it's only because of how epic Kamina is.
You know what I
Okay,
love
okay,
being
That's
able to
actually
say?
fair.
So you're implying that Kamino makes you wet yourself?
He did just imply
I'm
that.
not saying he doesn't, is what I'll say.
Okay. I thought you were going to say the only time I've ever cried is because I wet myself. So you've built up the association.
Ugh.
What's with all these human emotions, bro? What are we, Violet Evergardens?
So
Yeah.
one thing I love saying is when people say anime is really sad that I didn't cry to, like Your Lie in April. I cried to One Piece like 4 or 5 times.
Oh my god. Yeah, we're going merry.
Oh,
wait.
Going
It's
Mary.
a ship,
Anna, we
man.
can't.
It's a fucking...
It's part of the fucking crew, and I'm
It
part
is
of the
part
crew.
of the crew.
You
It'll
feel like you're
forever
part of
be
the crew. So if someone part of the crew dies,
This is
die
gonna be really
inside.
embarrassing if when we start doing the One Piece podcast, I end up crying at that point.
dude. I mean, maybe not because you're gonna read the manga and
Yeah, that bit is sadder in the anime.
the
'cause
sad
a lot
music
sadder
comes
in the
in, and you
anime.
can just see
Yep.
the tears going down, and
Oh my god.
It's so much nicer in the anime.
yeah,
That's
was
like one of the rare bits where it's better in the anime.
that was the first time I
Interesting.
ever cried to anime, and I think
This
it's something
is
that
the first time you've ever cried. You forced up your whole life. You was an emotionless baby.
it's
Anime
but
don't
it's
have
actually
no-
so true. I feel like I'm pretty like emotionless, but once like the faucet starts going, like I feel like after that it was so much easier for me to cry to anime.
You mean One Piece was your like tear awakening?
It
popped his
was.
cherry. It
It,
popped his
it popped my tear
Your eye
cherry.
cherries. Your
Ugh.
It jerked his tears.
wow.
Anyway, number 11, Mob Psycho 100. The first one I really, really strongly agree with. If anything, it should be even lower on the list or higher.
Higher.
It should be like top
Be the right
5.
word.
Yeah. I agree that Mob Psycho is definitely top 5 worthy, for sure.
Who at Watch Mojo wrote the line "Bless this cinnamon roll and his god tier telekinesis"? Like,
Is What is that? Oh my god.
That's how it ends. That's how the description of Mob Psycho 100 ends. And I bet the fucking guy who reads it just is so straight laced when he says that, like he's reading from a teleprompter.
Well, no, it's funny though because sometimes I feel like if you read the script, it's like wow, like the person probably like had like some feelings toward this show, and then you hear the person reading, like actually doing the video, and it's like wow, he just said that so like monotone, like like he's just reading professionally, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy Mob Psycho, and I actually prefer season 2 to season 1. I thought that season 1 was a bit slower to start, and season 2 right away started off great. And I loved both the social aspects of like the high school life and like the action aspects and the Reagan stuff. So I definitely just think this deserves to be in the top 10. I wouldn't say top 5, but top 10.
It's fair.
Well, based off everything else on the list, I think it's top 5 worthy. But if I were to make my own list, maybe definitely top
Yeah.
10, but I don't know.
You should make
I'm
your own
thinking
list,
of my own.
Briggs.
I will make my own list.
Oh, I'm
Well,
excited to watch your own list, Briggs.
I was actually thinking about making fun of this video and Crunchyroll's video so I could make some content out of it. The fact that Mob Psycho season 1 was amazing and season 2 is even better, like just solidifies it on the list.
When you have just 2 solid seasons like that, what can you do?
Exactly. Do we want to move on to the next one, or do we want to
yeah,
say anything
yeah,
else
yeah,
about Mob
yeah.
Psycho?
It changed my life in a good way. So hey.
Yeah, Mob.
Self-defense rush, bro.
that's-
Everyone should know
Well,
the self-defense rush.
Reagan's hilarious. Watching Mob try to change, but ending up changing everyone around him, including like you said, the viewer Evan.
Yeah.
it was great, and I relate to the Body Improvement Club. They're like some of my favorite characters in anime.
I know you would. Didn't someone make a video saying I quit my job because of Mob Psycho?
Who would do that?
Did they?
Yeah.
Was that
Dude.
you, Evan?
It
What?
was Evan, yeah.
Oh, you actually did?
Yeah.
Oh,
If it wasn't for
goddamn.
Mob Psycho, he wouldn't be working for me.
That's true. That's true.
No, yeah. So I remembered that, and I was like, was that Evan? I didn't want to like put him on the spot.
Get it
What are you
wrong.
talking, bro?
So best anime of the decade because it meant that I got to meet Evan.
And now you
True.
get to verbally abuse them.
I actually said something nice. I said something nice.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I think it's really cool when an anime makes you quit your job. I mean, positive influence on your life.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, at number 10, we're getting into the top 10 now, and I also agree with this choice. Haikyuu.
Yeah, boy, I love Haikyuu.
Same, bro.
I love
Honestly,
Haikyuu so much.
so it's
love
one of my
Gundam.
favorite sports anime, and definitely my favorite sports anime of the decade.
It's one of those
false.
anime
that would
that
be Keijo. That would be Keijo. But Haikyuu, I've heard, is very solid.
And I'm a little bit triggered that they only have one U in this Haikyuu. Huh? Well, where's the exclamation points? There's exclamation points in the name too, isn't there?
Yeah, there's like 2 of them.
Yeah.
2 U's, 2 exclamation
Oh yeah,
points.
oh, yeah.
Get it right.
Keijo has like 8 exclamation marks.
Yep.
So that's why it's better.
That makes Keijo better. The more exclamation points
absolutely.
your sports series has, the better it is.
Yeah, like have you ever seen anime, bro? Exclamation marks means
Yeah.
better. That's why the rank of a isekai title, that time I got reincarnated, or no, that time I got isekai'd into a fantasy world with my truck, has 3 exclamation marks.
So back to Haikyuu. Other than having one of the
Okay.
greatest openings of all time,
It has great characters. All of them are good. There's not a bad written character. Like even like Hinata's classmates from elementary school, middle school, or whatever that come by for like, an episode, they're good characters. Like everyone's good. Like I couldn't name a character that's poorly written.
well, I
In
think
my opinion.
that's an important thing when it comes to sports anime because, like, as much I love the duo that is Hinata and Kageyama, it's like there's 6
Oh,
people on the
everyone's
volleyball
so-
court and
Yeah.
there's a bunch of people on the bench, and like if you can make us care about each and every one of them and watch each and every one of them grow, like in the sport and as a person, then you're doing something right, and Haikyuu really is.
I care about all of them. I want them all to be happy, which is difficult. See, Haikyuu does this thing where the moment you're thinking that the enemy team, you're like feeling good about them beating the enemy team, they suddenly give you a flashback for all of the players of the enemy team. So now you suddenly feel like shit. They wanted the enemy team
Yeah.
to loot.
It's like in Demon Slayer when you kill the demons, and it's
Oh.
like,
Yeah, and then they
It's a little
suddenly like explain to you like, oh wait, demons have feelings too.
yeah.
I just liked Haikyuu. It's fun.
I've realized that some of my favorite anime of all time. It's always I always have the same thing. It's like if you ask me who my favorite character is, it's hard for me to put like a final answer, and it's constantly changing. There's other anime where it's like I like a couple characters and I always know who's my favorite and it stays the same.
Yeah.
With Haikyuu, it's like, oh my god, I love him. I
don't
love this
fucking know
boy.
who
I
my
love this
favorite-
boy.
Yeah, I don't know who my favorite character is. They're all so good.
It's hard. It really is hard to choose.
I
Like,
probably would have to go with Asahi, though, if a gun to my head.
I don't know. I can't choose.
It's-
Anyway, let's go on to number 9. They had to put this one in. Like they would be crucified by the community if they didn't, and I do think it deserves to be on the list just because.
But not this high up.
I wouldn't put it this high, but I think it deserves to be on the list just because of the impact it has, and I think it is
And it
a
is
decent
good.
show.
Without looking at it, can I guess?
Go ahead.
Yes.
You go ahead.
My Hero Academia.
My
It is
Hero
this one.
Academia.
Spot on.
Congratulations. Do you want a prize?
Yeah, I would not put My Hero Academia this high at all. Like
I would
ahead
put it
of
in the
Mob
top 10,
Psycho,
but
even
yeah,
like
yeah,
Psycho
exactly.
Pass. No way.
I'd put it at number 20. Just so it's on the list.
You know, if it had to be on this list, I agree with you. It would probably just sit at number 20.
Yeah,
I don't know if I put it. I'd probably put it a bit better than number 20, but yeah, definitely not where it is now.
Yeah, I don't know if I would even put it top 20. Like, I enjoy it, but it's just not on the level of so many others.
That's fair.
Well, anyway.
And I always talk about this. The biggest reason is that it has some fire arcs, and then some arcs that are very, like, underwhelming. Like, they're very, like, slow, just kind of high school life arcs, and then it always disrupts you the flow because you have a great action-packed villain arc that's high stakes, and then you have an arc where they're like having a school festival. Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
thing
like
is,
that balance.
Sorry, I just want to say, like, I love training arcs. In every anime I watch, I love training arcs. And MHA found a way to make the training arcs boring. So they have one fire arc, and then they have a training arc that's boring. If they could have both that were good, it would actually be a lot better. And again, maybe I don't like the training arcs just because I don't love a lot of the characters. So, like, that's probably why I don't like the show.
I like quite a lot of the characters. Again, I think I read the manga more than the anime, so.
Oh, I like, for example, I like Kirishima, and I like, who's the guy who runs fast? I don't remember his name.
Ida.
But I don't.
You also like Todoroki.
Yeah, sure. But I don't really love any character in MHA. There's a lot of hype I just had for the characters in Haikyuu, or for example, the characters in One Piece, where I can't decide which one I love more, and I just love them so much that regardless of what they're doing, I care about what they're doing because I love the person. It's like, maybe that's why I like training arcs, because I like to see that person I care about improve as a person or get stronger. But if I don't care about the characters, or I'm just like kind of indifferent towards them, why would I care about something that's not this high intensity and fun arc?
I think
Are you
I actually
saying-
agree with you on that.
Are you saying you don't pay close attention to Mineta's training arcs?
Well, Mineta's a hilarious character, so when he's on screen, it's actually entertaining.
I don't like Mineta. He's the one I don't like. I like all
Why
the
do you
other
not
guys.
like Mineta?
Of course you like Mineta, Evan.
Well,
Okay,
Mineta,
wow.
Mineta is essentially if Evan was in My Hero Academia.
Wow.
You don't know the sort of shit that Evan has said, and I'm not putting him on blast, but I will go on record and say that Mineta is like Evan.
All right, well, I just got a lot more respect for Evan, so.
High five, brother.
Jordan, the anime dude in chat, said Baku Goat is the best. What do you mean there's no characters you like, Briggs? Again, the fact that Bakugo is probably one of my favorite characters in the series speaks volumes at how bad the characters actually are. Anyway,
I disagree. See, this is the thing that I disagree about MHA with you. I think that it has some great characters. It's just that the pacing on some arcs is not good.
I think, yeah, I like a lot of the characters. I think all the characters are really fun. And a lot of them obviously aren't super developed because there's a lot of them in the class. But I still think they all are unique enough. I like
I
them
don't think
all.
that's an excuse though, like as to why they're not developed, right? Because like there's other shows that develop all the characters.
No, I would hate it if they went to so much effort to develop all of the class, because it would just waste so much time doing so, and it would be paced worse because of it.
look how much effort they put into Todoroki's character, and he's still trash.
Well, like,
All right.
I couldn't help
like
myself.
Briggs
I know
loses
everyone
his
loves
right
him.
to an
here's the
opinion.
thing: is like Assassination Classroom worked really well because they took time to develop the characters a little bit, but didn't go overboard. They picked a few to get, like Nagisa, Karma, and whatever. They developed those a lot more, like they do with Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku.
Okay.
And then they gave small little things for everyone else, and that's kind of what they're doing for My Hero. And I like it, and I appreciate the characters. And
Yeah, but I personally prefer Assassination Classroom to my MHA.
I 100% agree with you on that.
I like both. I like both equally. I like both. I just finished my Assassination Classroom, so
I think I would tier them in a
Haven't you learned anything about Rank Cafe? You can't just say I love both equally.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
illegal. Strong
Hold on, when
opinions
did
only.
Assassination Classroom come out?
Todoroki is trash.
Are you saying, sorry, Assassination Classroom's not? Should that be on this list?
Was that in the last decade?
It's in the last decade, yeah.
Oh, then yeah, I would have put that on
Yeah.
this list above My Hero Academia for sure.
Same
It's not
here,
on this
same
list.
here.
Yeah, I could see like MHA being 20 and Assassination Classroom being like 19 and a half. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, number 8. An anime I'm ashamed to admit that I've never seen, or I dropped after 2 episodes, even though I hear that it gets so much better. Madoka Magica.
It's the anime that invented the 3-episode rule, and you dropped it right before it.
I don't believe in the 3-episode rule, Evan. I really don't. I could tell if something's for me, but it does have a huge twist. I'm assuming people have said, and it turns into a different anime. So in that case, yeah, it would apply to this. But for most anime, I could tell right off the bat if it's for me or not.
Madoka Magica here, I feel like this is a pick that they picked to seem classier, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is a anime that is very popular among the true weebs, and I mean for good reason. The mother in that show is pretty great. But personally, I don't know. I would
Animac is a thing for moms, goddammit. Don't you know this?
Okay, all right. Well,
I would put
Kira's
it
wife.
probably top 20, but not necessarily top 10, just because I feel like there are so many anime that spoke to me personally more than Madoka Magica, even though Madoka Magica deals with cool concepts.
Well, anyway,
probably
what are you
honestly,
thinking, Evan?
it would be one of the other ones that I would definitely probably not have on this list.
Well, I get such mixed opinions about Madoka Magica. People swear by it, and then a bunch of people are like, it's overhyped.
And you know who overhypes it a lot? Nux.
Hey guys, Nux Taku here.
Oh god, I freaked out. I thought it was Nux for a sec.
Madoka Magica is one of the best anime of all time. It's a true game changer, one that isn't afraid to shatter any and all preconceptions, no matter how much misery it brings to our colorful heroines.
You just reading the.
Nux Taku writes their scripts, confirmed.
Wow.
That's why Nux isn't here, because
I
he would
wanted
be
him to.
ashamed.
I wish he was here to hear your impression, because it's fucking hilarious.
He can. What? Someone will clip it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, next one is Rakugo Shinju.
Oh.
I haven't seen that one.
What? I've not even heard of this one.
No,
Am
that
I-
one is about like
Dummy.
Go, right? The game.
I don't
And
think
an
so.
Old man
I think
just
it's-
loves playing his board game.
No, it's not about
Huh.
that, guys. I don't
Is
think
is
so.
it not? I don't. Okay, well, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Rakugo is like a type of storytelling. I haven't seen it either. I've heard such amazing things by like
Oh, it's the
everyone.
ancient art of
I haven't even
story.
heard negative things about this show, but I've never seen it.
I've also not seen it. It's from a few years ago, but I did hear really good things and some really like deep analysis about it. So
Yo.
again, this is one of those picks to really up their weeb credentials before they have Yuri on Ice as number 1.
Yeah. Yo, I'm surprised they didn't include that. I actually am.
Yeah, I honestly like. I've not heard of this, but it looks like it's probably quite good, and very surprised.
It's
to see it
very
on the list.
sad that us weebs haven't seen this many things and watched
I'm
Mojo'S
ashamed of
list.
you
When-
guys.
When did Mushishi come out?
So first season came out in the last decade, and the second season came out in this decade.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then damn, I can't have Mushishi on this list. Then
I love Mushishi. You know,
I love it.
Tech Nonomi says it's about Rakugo Animac. Yeah, Raku Go.
Oh,
Can't
God.
argue with that logic. Number 6,
Oh,
we have One Punch Man. And another anime I agree with. Another anime would have in my top 5, and just blew my mind. One Punch Man and Mob Psycho were originally webcomics by the creator One, and both of my favorite anime in the last decade, that would be my top 5, are by this guy who drew webcomics pretty like horribly. Like the art was never good, but since they're comedies, like it works.
I like One Punch Man.
I love
Yeah.
One Punch Man.
No, Evan's
One
gone.
Punch Man is great. Obviously season 2 had its problems, but I think that One Punch Man definitely deserves to be top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, well, season 1 aired in 2015, so either way, season 1 was amazing.
Yeah.
I've
No,
watched
for
it like
sure.
6 times.
No,
And
it's
read the
good.
manga
And
for it.
It's also it's one of those anime that you can show to someone who's never seen anime before, and they'll enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't think they'll
Yeah.
appreciate it as much because it is like
Oh yeah,
they make fun of a lot of stuff that
tropes.
like are tropes in
course.
anime, but at the same time, I showed it to my boys while playing poker, and they fucking loved it.
Yeah,
My
a
boys.
lot of people that are
boys.
like not into anime have gotten into it through stuff like One Punch Man because it got very mainstream. When the first season was out, it got beyond just the anime.
Dude, Bill Burr talked about it on his podcast,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a great
Yeah,
anime.
and I loved his interpretation of it. It was fucking amazing. I never thought about it that way. But anyway, thank you for the 300 bits. My hot rabbi. I fucking love that guy's name. Anyway, another number 5, another pick I actually super agree with, and I'm surprised they included Fate Zero,
Oh yeah.
an anime that Nux hypes an accurate amount of.
Yeah. So I'm also surprised that they included it at all, especially this high. But Fate Zero is quite good. Yes.
You guys are going through this list with the intentions of roasting it, but you've agreed more. Like we've come across a lot where it's like, I'm surprised that Watch Mojo would put this on their current list. Maybe they're more. Maybe they research more than we think.
Well, maybe they've gotten better over after 1,000 videos.
And
Yeah,
this
well,
is the
that's
Watch
fair.
Mojo redemption arc.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the twist of this podcast.
I mean, to be fair,
Is that
it's,
we're all falling in love with Watch
it's
Mojo.
not that hard to come. Like I could make this list without watching anime. Just go on Mal's top anime, and these are all here.
It's just like
Like,
Yeah, and remember that Caster from Fate Zero is the funniest character in anime.
well, anyway, do you guys have anything you want to say about Fate Zero?
Can I read the excerpt from the Watch Mojo description?
Go ahead, British
Sure.
Max. Go ahead.
Why must you make us suffer with your genius, Urobuchi? Just think that was a nice way of ending it.
Wow.
Okay, that was terrible. No, no more respect for.
I was
Watch
hoping
Mojo.
you do it as British Nux and then.
Oh, you wanted me to do it as Noxtaku?
Yeah.
Oh, hey guys!
You always start off
Why
like that.
must you make us suffer with your genius, Urobuchi?
Urabuchi is such a bad lad.
He's such...
Bro.
Alright, that's enough.
Yeah, Fate Zero deserves to be here. I don't know if I would put it this high because, like, I would put say like One Punch Man and some other shows, Psychopaths probably, Mob Psycho before it.
Yeah,
But
no, for
I
sure.
would put it on this list 100%.
Yeah, I think 5 is a little bit too high for me. I would have it closer to the top, like 15.
Hmm.
But anyway, number 4. I'm very. This is crazy.
Oh wait, hold up! Wait! Before you talk about this anime, I am going to watch it, and I don't want you guys to spoil anything for me. So
Okay.
I'm going to take my.
I mean, we
headphones
haven't
off.
really spoiled anything.
I won't. We won't spoil anything for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Oh, he's still doing it. Okay. Well, anyway, the number 4 anime of the decade. Actually, my number 4 or number 3 favorite anime of all time. It's definitely worth a watch. So I'm happy Rustage is going to check it out. We got Steins Gate, which came out in 2011.
Hey, Rustage, everyone dies, bro. No.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean that is a spoiler. Actually, everyone does.
Steins Gate, I do like a lot, and I did like it when it came out, but I do not think that it should be this high.
I think it should be higher.
No, I don't think so. I would put it closer to top 10 to 15. I just think that there's a lot of anime that I enjoyed more, even though I did enjoy this one greatly.
I think I'd have it number 2.
I'm just disturbed by what Rustage is doing with that
Yeah.
face again.
That's what I was staring at the entire time too.
If you're if you're only listening to this and not watching it, unfortunately, you're not getting the full Rustage experience right now.
Yeah,
But
that's unfortunate.
Should we text Rustage? Oh, he said do a gang sign when we move on.
I don't know any gang signs, but
yeah,
hey,
Well, we actually didn't talk about Sandsgate at all.
we did it. We actually didn't spoil
Um,
anything or really talk about it. Just said we agreed that it's here.
yeah. Steins Gate, good anime, definitely top 20. I would say top 10 to 15. Briggs says even better than where it is now.
Yeah, and
Sweet.
To say one thing about the show, this doesn't spoil it. It does have a little bit of a slow start, which is the only criticism that I think is legit. But at the same time,
It's not a spoiler.
it's like, do you know the general premise of the show?
No.
Do you know?
No.
Okay. Fuck.
Okay,
Okay.
actually, I will agree with him for not wanting to hear the general premise because I went into the show knowing absolutely nothing about it, and that's why I like it.
All right. Whatever. We'll move on then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry for ruining this anime discussion podcast. It's literally the next thing on my list, and
Alright.
I'm planning on making a song about it as well. If I like it.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I hope that song is called "Hacking to the Gate."
Well, so not to spoil anything. I'm not gonna. But given the premise, it takes time to build up. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
You just already said that, and you just repeated yourself.
All right.
No, it's funny because of the pun. Anyway, let's go.
JoJo's.
Well,
JoJo's
anyway,
was our
number
three,
3,
number three.
JoJo's. I agree. It should be on the list. I don't think it should be top 3.
Yeah.
Like all of JoJo's?
Yeah, that's the thing is people categorize JoJo's based on the different fucking parts and stuff.
Well,
I think JoJo's as a whole definitely top 5.
I'd say 5 through 10. It deserves.
I would say top 5. Like I don't know if I would say specifically 3, but I definitely don't hate them putting it here.
Do we know what parts came out in this decade, or did they all come out in this?
I think they all came out. Yeah.
Really?
Because the manga's so old. But yes.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, they all came out this decade. So
All of JoJo's,
just all of JoJo.
any part.
Well, that's the thing. Some parts are so much better than others, so it's hard for me to.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I mean, no, I think as a whole, it's a great experience, and I would put it in the top 5 of the decade.
Well, I say someone just said Steins Gate is greater than JoJo's in chat, and I agree.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nonsense.
Oh.
Ooh.
Complete
Well-
nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, Steins Gate's got. I can't say nothing, Rustage. God damn it.
I've never
Just
seen JoJo.
Okay, I have to. I'm getting better at wording it without spoiling anything. One of the greatest endings in all of anime. The Rustage's faces are amazing.
You're really gonna traumatize this poor man.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
brother. Number 2, Attack on Titan.
Hey,
Ah, yes. Yes, Attack on Titan.
you like Attack on Titan?
Okay, here's the thing, right? Like, what you saying yes? Are you basing that on your knowledge of the manga
He
or
definitely is.
just the anime?
Yeah,
I
'cause
love
this is
I
just-
love just the anime, but I do also know the manga now. But I feel like right now where the anime is, it's already amazing enough to be where it is.
Mhm.
I would disagree with you.
I wouldn't say it's number 2.
because I don't think that Attack on Titan would make my top 20 based on just the anime.
Oh, well, Attack on Titan to me, yeah, as a whole series, it would make my like top 4, maybe even top 3
Yeah.
of all time. But just the anime, still, I think it's a great anime. It's action packed. There's a lot of crazy twists. The animation is really good, except for the Colossal Titan CG. Everything else is good. So I mean, I think it deserves to be here.
Do you
So given what happened in the manga, I think I'd put it top 2. But based off of just the anime and the first season, I'd say top 10. I don't think it would be
Yeah,
number
that's
2. 'Cause I feel like it just started to get really good in the last 2
Yeah.
seasons, especially the ending of the last season. It's like, oh, good stuff's gonna happen now, but it's like
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it. I just
not too.
personally on anime alone, because I don't read the manga, I don't think it deserves to be on this list yet. 'Cause
well,
I'm just-
I mean, it
On
deserves
this list at all.
20 for sure.
I wouldn't say top 20. Like maybe
Whoa.
in a top 50 list, yes, absolutely. But top 20,
So would you say that this is better than MHA?
Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I would say it's better than MHA for
But
sure.
you put MHA
That's
in the
all
top 20.
That's
No,
all I
I
wanted to
didn't.
know.
I also
Oh,
said I
okay.
didn't think MHA deserved to be in top 20.
What did you put in the top 20? Violent Evergarden?
No, I swapped out MHA for what was it? The one with the Pepsi ads and stuff.
Wow,
Yeah, Tiger and Bunny.
I
Yeah, there you
really
go.
need to. I really need to make my own list. It'd be so different.
Attack on Titan would probably be in the top 10. Yeah, it is good. Here's an off-topic question because I'm struggling with it. Who do you think Eren Yeager would rap battle against in a different anime? I'm trying to find
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find-
okay.
like a good rap battle partner for Eren Yeager, and I can't figure it out.
Okay, Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul.
I can't do Tokyo Ghoul because I'll get copyright striked.
Uh,
That is off limits. I'm so sorry.
you gotta find like an edgy dude, who's seen some shit.
Okay, name some post-apocalyptic like worlds. Like, well, for example, like not
I
even
can name a
apocalyptic.
ton, but like they wouldn't be relevant anymore. Like
Mm.
Casser and Sins, like Casser from that anime.
I remember there's so many anime that have like similar. Why don't you do Kirito versus Eren?
That could. Well, the thing is, with Kirito, I wanted to do a isekai protagonist rap battle royale. Isekai Naofumi, Subaru, Kazuma.
Cool.
Uh,
Why don't you do
so-
Eren versus Guts?
Okay.
No, Guts is just
No.
too much of a
Too
mad
much.
lad.
Guts
Rather
just
have-
win.
I would say Eren versus Bakugo would be good.
Bakugo versus Vegeta is something that I have planned.
Oh, that's a good. Oh,
yeah,
that is really
you gotta
good.
do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
In the chat, we also had Torfin suggested for
Ooh.
Eren.
Orphan could be good.
That is actually really good. They
The-
both
the
have a
other one-
lot of hate in their hearts. That's for sure.
All right, I'll put that down.
And they both changed
Sam
a
the
lot
comment
too.
says Birito. Yeah, Birito is also very resentful.
Wow. All right, at number one, the greatest
Sorry.
anime of the decade, according to Watch Mojo. What did you want to say, Rustage? That was a really cool
We're
intro
not
I
gonna go
did.
through their honorable mentions first.
Oh, honorable
Yeah.
mentions. Honorable
Right,
mentions.
we'll go through honorable mentions. I would just someone in the chat was saying something like Guts. Really, Eren doesn't stand a chance against Guts. It's a rap battle. It's not an actual battle. I have to- every time I did announce Deku versus Naruto, it's like, yeah, Naruto would beat Deku. That's not the point.
Okay.
Also, someone did not read the latest.
But I feel
chapters
like
of
you
the
should
Attack
still
on Titan
base
manga.
who wins the battle off of like who's a better character, who's stronger, and stuff like that. Because their lyrics should be making fun of the fact that like, wow, I'm stronger than
yeah.
you, and wow,
like,
I'm
for
a better
example-
character with less flaws.
In Deku versus Naruto, Deku disses the fact that Naruto is a terrible father and a bunch of other shit as well. And like,
Spoilers.
Well, you can
Oh,
make fun of Eren, like whoever Eren versus can be like, you hate Titans, but you are one. Hypocritical.
oh my god.
Hit you with a critical. Okay, I'll stop.
You're just writing it for him. at
Yeah,
this
there you
point.
go, buddy.
Lyrics are so mythical. About to get physical.
All right.
You're pathetic, yeah, you're miserable.
Ooh. Ooh, okay.
You're missing, you can't hit at all. Alright, what?
Oh, we were experiencing some freestylage.
And like the fact that Eren relies on Mikasa a lot. Like this rip on Eren and Eren loses.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
okay. We got honorable mentions.
Vinland
put-
Saga is the first
Yeah,
honorable
but-
mention, which I love. And if
From
they
everything I've watched
like
so
that-
far, it's a good honorable mention. I actually really love it.
I feel like it deserves to be on the list.
so based on their list, I think it
So you
deserves
think
to be
it
on the
deserves
list.
to be on the actual list and not an honorable mention?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair because I actually really like it.
Well, I prefer it to a lot of anime on their list, so I
Yeah,
would as well.
exactly.
But the fact that I read the manga and the next arc in the anime is my favorite arc in the entire manga. So once that gets adapted, it'll definitely be on my own list. But for the time being, it'd probably be like top, like from 10 to 20. It wouldn't be like top 10. All right. Any thoughts, Animac? Evan?
So what are
I mean,
all
our-
the honorable mentions?
Yeah,
We
there's
got
more than just
ReZero.
Yeah, ReZero is the next one.
Star
No.
Citizen.
I
That
wouldn't
would
put
not
it
be-
in.
I would definitely not put that as an honorable mention.
Parasite?
That is a good honorable.
I'd
That
actually
is a
put,
good honorable
I'd put
mention.
Parasite in. I loved it.
Would you say it could be in the top 20?
Yeah.
I haven't like finished it, so I don't know yet, but it's definitely good.
Dragon Ball Super?
Dragon Ball Super. What a joke.
Come on. It's a good action anime, like for kind of just having fun, but it's not like top 20.
It's like they had to
I don't
put
think
it
it's
so that the
even-
Dragon Ball fan base wouldn't be as upset.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Because
have
it's
it
just
in
such a
honorable
popular
mentions.
series.
I wouldn't even have it in honorable
A-
mentions.
a
I've
place
already
further than
expressed that I'm not a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z anyway.
A place further than the universe, definitely not even an honorable mention. Like,
What?
come-
Okay. First of all,
Come on.
it's actually one of my favorite anime of all time.
Oh,
yes,
just-
I personally here it's about cute girls doing incredible things, right?
Listen,
like,
it's boring, okay?
No, it's not.
Cute.
It's such an inspirational
It is
show.
cute. It is a cute show. It
Uh-huh.
is beautifully animated, but it just gets boring. It's like
There's
Violet
nothing
Evergarden.
boring about it. There's absolutely nothing boring about it. If you see these girls start with this dream, this idea, and then they just go out of their way and they actually try to accomplish it, like they let nothing stop them.
No
Dude, that's
way.
literally every shonen. Every
That
shonen
is
ever
every
is
shonen,
that.
but this is about ordinary high school girls.
Animak is achieving your dreams boring.
I mean, I guess not. You're right about that. It's just that my dreams do not include what they want to do. So to me, it's like, who cares?
Sure, it was a
Uh-huh.
stupid goal. They're like, we just want to go to Antarctica. And people are like, oh my god, you're little girls. You can't go to Antarctica. But they did it.
They
Freaking
fucking did it.
Okay,
Alright.
spoiler
That's
alert.
not-
Fuck this.
How is that a sport? That's the whole premise of the show.
I'm kidding.
The fact that they did it, Evan, this is
They could have died.
Exactly.
They could have Titanicked.
They could have died.
So you spoiled the fact that they
They-
didn't Titanic.
They could have discovered that it's not about the destination; it's the journey along the way. Rustage.
and the untimely death in the icy cold waters.
All
That
right,
would make it a good.
What
That
other
would make it a
honorable
better
mentions
show.
do we have?
Your Lie in April and the Seven Deadly Sins.
Fair.
I would.
Your Lie in April could be in the top 20.
I'd probably put Seven Deadly Sins based out the
Your
first
Lie-
two seasons.
I really like the Seven Deadly Sins, and I like Your Lie in April, but I'm okay with them not being in the top 20.
I feel like because I look at their list again, I'm like, yeah, I could probably replace it with something on their list. But then again, I haven't made my own yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, because we're talking about the top 20 of the decade, right? So,
yeah, there's definitely a lot of anime I'm not remembering right now.
yeah.
Seven Deadly Sins constantly annoyed me whilst I was watching it. Seven Deadly Sins is a show that has some great characters in my opinion, a really bad story. Like, I don't want to deconstruct Seven Deadly Sins here, but there is so much that I just
Well,
made me groan.
I feel like the first season I could agree with you. Like they have great characters, it's a lot of fun, but the story's kind of all right. But then in the second season, they get a lot of development.
Yeah, the characters do, and I like a lot of the character moments. The second season is way better than the first season, I will say that, and a lot of the character development is really good. But yeah, I think it's just because I don't like Meliodas and Elizabeth and Hawk. I liked Hawk, but I wish he wasn't in the second season.
I'll give you Elizabeth, but the other two I will never forgive.
I will agree with you that I don't like Meliodas either, because like he just, his character is just. First of all, he comes off as a creep in the first episode, and I'm just like, ooh.
He does come off as a creep, but I
It just
wanted to
immediately
say
made
like the
him
reason
not
I can
like him
understand.
for the rest of the show.
I can
Sorry.
understand why people wouldn't like
He
him
doesn't
at the
come off
start.
as a creep. He is a creep.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Sexually harasses people. There's no beating around the bush there.
yeah.
But
no,
okay, can we think about this again? Has he sexually harassed anyone other than Elizabeth? I feel like he hasn't.
You cut out for me
you
then. So what did you
absolutely
say?
cut out. Just
Has
now.
he sexually harassed anyone other than Elizabeth? I don't think he
Um,
has.
No, has
No,
he?
he looked under the skirt of that one druid lady, right?
Ah, it's mild anime stuff. I'm talking about.
Anyway,
Anyway.
the point is, if you know the story, Meliodas and Elizabeth.
Have a
yeah,
bond and
I
a
get
deep.
that. But
Yeah.
Elizabeth didn't know that at the
Exactly,
time.
which makes it not okay.
Didn't
Like-
she though? Anyway, the point is.
But also think
Seven
about how
Deadly
fucked
Sins-
how little old people care about stuff. Like when you get old, I feel like you have like way less not self control, but like filter.
It's just
filter.
it,
I know
it's
this is
just weird.
3,000 years old with no emotions. I feel like it's understandable from the be a little bit
like
of a creep.
it's just weird because also the audience doesn't know that in the
That's
first
true.
season,
That's
and
true.
it's not played off as a negative thing at all. It's played off as a joke, right? So the show gives the impression that it's an okay thing for him to be doing.
I'm with
right?
you. I am. And I can see why people would dislike him at the start. You get this super overpowered character that's funny, but not a lot of emotions, and is a little bit of a creep. I get it.
But just for clarification, for anyone listening, I know it sounds like he's trying to justify sexual harassment, but he's not.
I'm
Well,
sure I
nobody's
am.
Nobody's justifying sexual
No,
harassment. The
but-
point is
He's
that
talking about his character.
we need to
Can-
stop.
Can I just say that Meliodas becomes, as we learn more and more about him, and how as he develops and struggles with the demons inside of him, and we learn about his emotions.
I've
and
not
everything.
watched season 3 because I've not watched season 3 yet. But at the end of season 2, it was the only time I was ever like, oh, Meliodas has something here, right? But I had to get through 2 seasons of me just wishing he wasn't around. Like,
Jeez.
I just enjoyed Ban's story. Like, Jericho is one of my favorite characters because I think she's really well written.
Jericho's a little bitch.
Yeah, I
Okay.
love Bon. Bon is my favorite, and I think Jericho is underrated, and Briggs is unfair to her, just like he's unfair to Todoroki. But
Yeah.
I will say that I will agree that the first season of the Seven Deadly Sins, story-wise, is the weakest, and then it gets much better. But let's not be fucking Twitter here and act like everything we see in anime means that we should be doing it in real life. Like, no, it
Obviously
Yeah,
doesn't.
no,
not.
of course. I
And-
mean,
I'm surprised Rustage is surprised at Meliodas' actions. This is anime. It's nothing new, buddy.
no. Okay,
Yeah, like,
hold on.
just because you see something, that doesn't mean that it's telling you to do it in real life.
No. I know that, but I'm also saying that that's why I dislike it. It doesn't. I'm not gonna like it by default because I know it's a fictional thing. Like, it makes me uncomfortable to watch. I don't like watching it, so I just don't like it.
Yeah,
If that makes
I
sense.
cringed a bit too in the first episode.
And
Okay,
yeah.
this guy needs to stop signing on and off to Apex Legends. It's making a notification every time, and
So,
I don't know how to turn it off.
I think Seven Deadly Sins is fine. I like a lot of the characters, and honorable mentions is fine. I wouldn't put it in the top 20.
So, one thing from honorable mentions, Food Wars was not mentioned anywhere here, and I think
that's a good point.
on my personal list, given what has been adapted thus far, not talking about the manga in any way, the first 3 seasons of the anime, I'd put top 5. I'd put top 3.
I
Food Wars?
also,
Yeah,
from what
I
I've
love
seen
Food
so
Wars.
far about Food Wars, I think it deserves to be in the top 20.
I
I've heard
definitely
that
agree
later
too
it gets
there.
worse, but I don't know. People stock a lot of shit, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've only watched the first episode, and it's one of the ones I need to watch as well. But yeah, I've heard Briggs say good things about it. So
Well, I mean, given there's a lot of fan service in Food Wars,
yeah,
so
but at least it's consensual.
this is true. This is true. I
think
don't know.
another
I don't
honorable-
know how consensual it is, considering they're not
It's-
prepared for the orgasms they're gonna get when they eat
but
that
also
food.
it's metaphorical as
Yeah.
well. They're not actually having orgasms.
It hypes up the food, right?
Yeah.
I think
Because
another
it's-
good honorable mention is probably Keijo for sure.
Yes.
TDQ 79.
I just want to hold on. I just want to thank Evan, bro.
Thank you for
I want to
respect.
thank TDQ 79 for the 500 bits and said 7 Deadly Sins should be on the list simply for Lord Twigo.
That's true.
Yeah, well,
If
Lord
not
Twigo just
severe-
transcends decades, so you know.
That's just
Are
not
we-
fair.
Is there any other like honorable mentions or things people?
Yeah,
want
so
to-
I would mention Terror in Resonance as an honorable mention, also known as Zankyu no Terror, I believe.
Mhm.
And yeah, so Mushishi season 2 was like 2014, so if that counts, I would mention it. And also, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood ended in like 2010.
Okay,
start
but it did
doesn't
start.
have
It's a
it in
start.
there.
Sorry, The Promised Neverland's not anywhere here. You
No,
think it should be a?
I like it. Yeah, I think Promised Neverland is one of the best suspense anime I've ever seen. So I do.
Yeah,
think
it should
deserves
be an honorable mention at least. Watch Mojo. Like it's
Yeah.
better than some of the shit you have on your list.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the
true.
thing. When I say top 20, I'm usually thinking of what I would have. But you're
Yeah.
right. Like for the actual list, I think The Promised Neverland is better than several things on this list.
I actually
And Vinland
people-
Saga already is better than several things on this list.
Shield Hero. What about Shield
No,
Hero?
no,
No, Black
not
Clover.
Decade, not Decade.
I like Black Clover more than Seven Deadly Sins. I'll admit.
I like the Black Clover manga, but I
Yeah.
don't really watch the anime.
No, I to be fair-
Konosuba. Sorry,
yeah,
that was.
Konosuba
Oh,
should be.
I saw that in
always
chat
on
and my
Was that in the last
brain.
decade?
It definitely,
must be.
Yeah,
it definitely
100%.
was. That was
There's
so
no
recent.
reason why I wouldn't.
I
See,
would-
this is the thing. I feel like comedy anime often get the shaft. So Konosuba is a comedy anime. Food Wars is a comedy anime. Keijo.
Baka and Test came out in the last decade.
Psyche Kusuo, man. Psyche Kusuo is a hilarious comedy.
No game, no life. I'd put it in.
Okay, no.
I'd have
no,
it on my list, buddy.
No, absolutely not.
All right.
Todoroki is better than No Game No Life.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Time for
we'll
number
get to
one.
Number one.
The greatest anime of the decade, according to Watch Mojo, and I'm very surprised that they included it in the first place. Hunter x Hunter. And I'm surprised.
I'm not surprised.
I'm surprised that they picked something so good.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not surprised because it's like them if they did a 2000s to 2010 list and put Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood at number one. It's like it's just the popular choice that people put at number one because it's a lot of people have different opinions about things and they have different animes, but most people agree that it's good. So
Yes.
it sort of consensually becomes number one in that way. Like in Eurovision where
Oh,
sorry.
don't even get me started on the Eurovision.
because in Eurovision you have like the audience and the jury votes, and so
Having
it's sort of
flashbacks.
consensually what everyone thinks is number one, and it's similar with Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is really good, and it's just solid, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is, and so it just becomes number one in a lot of people's lists because of that. Like if you had someone's personal list, they probably wouldn't have Hunter x Hunter as number one, but because Watch Mojo is like a company, like if they would put Hunter x Hunter as number one. So
Really,
that's
I
why
had
it
a
doesn't
different
surprise me.
impression of Hunter x Hunter. That's why I said it. I thought more people hadn't seen it. So like,
I don't know.
and I
I
feel like
always
it's
hear
almost
people talk about how good it
underappreciated.
is.
You know what it is? Because I'm in the world of shonen, and I feel like a lot of the anime, like One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball, like whatever, Black Clover, all these anime are talked about frequently. I feel like Hunter x Hunter, because it's not airing and the manga has been on hiatus and stuff, it's almost not talked about as much, and I may be associated with it not being appreciated. So I was surprised that they included it, considering like it's just not something I hear people talk about often. Like we talk about it a lot, but
Yeah,
beyond
I
that,
agree
don't,
with that.
I don't think that's true because I hear a lot of people talk about Hunter x Hunter
Really?
all the time.
Yeah.
maybe I just follow
Yeah.
too many One Piece and Naruto tards.
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely. I see people ranting away about Hunter x Hunter constantly.
Well, Hunter x Hunter would definitely be on my top 5. So
Yeah, so for Hunter x Hunter, I'm still in the process of watching it. I'm on the Greed
Mhm.
Island arc now. And in the first few arcs, when I was watching, I didn't really get why people love it so much. But now I am understanding it with the York new arc and
Yes.
stuff. I definitely get why it's considered one of the best. So I'm okay with this choice for now. And apparently, I still haven't gotten to the greatest arc ever, which is the Chimera Ant arc. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no really debate there on Hunter x Hunter.
So how do you guys feel about the overall list?
Better than I expected.
It's fine, you know.
I'd say better
I
than
was
I expected as well.
Has competent people.
Although they missed out on the modern classic.
The problem with lists like these, the problem-
recreators.
Yeah.
Okay.
Creators.
the problem with lists like these from companies like this is that when you watch someone's best anime of list, their personal one, you're just getting a snapshot into that person's tastes and ideas, and I think it's much more interesting to hear about that. But when someone makes a list like this and they're uploading it to Watch Mojo, it's not this person's tastes and ideas. They're trying to accumulate a bunch of people and trying to make what they think is the ideal list, and sometimes that comes off as really artificial and not just not that interesting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're trying to minimize dislikes, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather watch like Briggs' top 10 anime list and
Number 1,
like
One
Evan's
Piece. Number 2,
Oh, Evan's
One
top
Piece.
10.
It's like number 1, One Piece. Number 2, Saitama smashes Goku. Number 3,
Number 3, Todoroki's a little bitch. But
number
I
4,
know exactly.
Jericho.
I actually don't mind Jericho. I just dislike Jericho because she stands in the way of Elaine and Bond's true love.
I don't
But
know. I
she
like
doesn't-
Jericho.
yeah, she's really good. And when she realizes that she can't have Bond, she's really mature about it and like grows as a character. And I think it's a really good message.
Although
I like
remember
her.
Jericho in season 1, like just
Oh yeah, she's different.
terrible.
but then this also like adds to her progression and stuff. And
Yeah.
weirdly, she is my favorite character, which is such a unusual. But Kobe's my favorite One Piece character, I guess.
Well, the best character is obviously Derriere.
Fair enough. um. Oh, Watch Mojo have a bunch of these top 10 anime of 2019 and stuff like that.
Yeah,
feel
they,
like-
they have a lot. They, like I said, they make like what 8 videos a day. But the point is that it was a interesting list to look at. And yeah, like I
Mhm.
said, I don't hate it. I don't. I think, like you said, Rustage, it's a very diplomatic list. It's a politically correct list. A list that weebs will be like, well,
Yeah,
well, I
well,
would have disagreed on this and that, but I
And so
generally.
they also like they pick a bunch of popular stuff, but then they throw in a few obscure ones as well to be
Yeah.
like none of those kind of obscure ones are the guy who writes its like favorite anime. They just they've you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It just that sort of these sort of lists lack heart in that regard. And again, I'm being presumptuous here because it's very possible that the person who wrote this list was just doing their opinion and they would do and I'm completely wrong. But um I assume that wouldn't be the case. Yeah, it's more of a business thing. And I'm interested to see what all of your guys' top 10, top 20 anime of the decade lists are. If you guys get around to doing your own.
I don't know, man, because that's so much mental work to try to like debate yourself. I hate doing
Yeah.
those types of lists for me. I hate it, and it changes all the time, right? So like you see something new or you rewatch something, you're like, yo, I wasn't appreciating this enough. So
It's true. You also never make everyone happy. Well, I mean, that's
Well,
the
no,
nature of YouTube.
that's what I like about the personal lists is you're not doing them to make people happy. You're saying this is my opinion on what I liked in this decade,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I find that way more interesting to watch than watch Mojo being like these are the top 20 anime of the decade.
Like, I feel like the fact that I have No Game, No Life on my top 20 and Food Wars and so many anime that probably people wouldn't include on theirs makes it unique.
Yeah,
But then if you're someone who agrees with me, it's like, oh my God, like I know where you're coming from type of thing.
hmm and it helps you find people that have similar taste to you. That makes sense. Like there's a lot of YouTubers that I watch because they've liked things that I've liked in the past, so I trust their opinions on things that I haven't watched yet. If that makes sense.
yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, bro.
But anyway, I think we should call it a stream, Animac, or call it a podcast.
This was a fun episode, like a quick one with our boys Rustage, Evanito, and of course my co-host Briggs. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm gonna keep doing these bonus episodes twice a week for Rank of A for the foreseeable future, and we'll see how it goes. If you guys like it, if you hate it, etc. But thank you for joining us. We'll be back Thursday again, where hopefully Nux is going to be back, and we're going to be talking about some interesting things as well. And yeah, again, thanks guys for joining us. All the links will be in the description on the YouTube channel. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bang!
Hey, goodbye.
I feel like our
Bye.
excitement
Oh,
got
wait.
so much lower towards the end.
my rap battle comes out this Friday.
Oh yeah. Check out Evan.
Plug.
Check out Rustage.
Yeah, I'm super proud of it. Deku versus Naruto rap battle comes out this Friday.
Animac, we gotta remember to let
It
them
looks
plug themselves.
really good. Like it looks really
Yeah.
good.
I'm hyped.
Animac, I'll show you it. Yeah, I haven't showed you.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that because yeah, I like that idea. I like the idea of like two characters from different anime that are often pitted against each other. Actually, like doing like a epic rap battle of history kind of
let
thing.
me show you. I'm gonna put it in this chat.
It looks so good.
Yeah, because I got someone to edit it and they did like rotoscoping and stuff and to make it look like they were
Yeah.
talking to each other and they did some really cool
Yeah,
stuff.
it is incredible.
Yeah. What Animac, watch that because I've shown Briggs and Evan.
Are we still live, Briggs?
We are still live. They can watch
So-
it. I can't because then
Is this the
True.
first all camera stream?
Because Nux isn't here, innit?
Ah, that's true. Yeah, makes sense. Remember to spam Evan with no.
Evan, you did this to yourself, and that's why we love you.
I didn't do anything, man. The sad part, like, I'm more sad that I admitted that in front of Afro because I want Afro to respect me as a human being. I feel like Afro is
Oh
just
my
like,
God.
man, I never want to talk to that guy ever again.
try to get used to people not respecting you.
No.
I'm just playing, bro.
How Ross is that likes puzzle pirates can like Kobe. That's fun.
Oh, nice, man. I'm liking this rap already.
Hey, I get to hear your live reaction. It's great.
I'm calling it right now. It's gonna be the most viewed thing on your channel.
Is this the one with the amazing editing?
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm hyped. Well, I'm so hyped. Yo,
Using Boruto to diss him. That's low blow, man.
Like your lyrics are pretty like well written. Like it's so good, and then the editing adds on top of that. It's Ah,